Very good.
Sorry, yeah, come over there, sorry.
Bad timing for the direct light.
That's really not.
I mean, your diffused light just left.
Okay, try that, okay. Take it straight, you can't. I'm not missing this. I thought you were going to jump on it. Okay. Before you cut it, look at me. Alright, you just gotta get a position and look at me.
Then Matt, get a handful and shove in her face. You get ready.
Get in position. You ready? Look at me. Right here. Smile, smile. Good. Good. Alright, go for it. Alright, now turn around and face everybody. Come out here. Come out here. Yeah, we're gonna come out and face everybody. Hold on.
Yeah.
We're gonna get special right here.
We gotta get the best shot. You
I'm
ready?
wearing a white hat.
Go the same time? Go the same time?
Yeah, we can do that.
Alright, ready?
Trying to get it way above. But it wasn't here a couple seconds ago.
No, we came over, I think it came out.
That wasn't very messy. What was that?
Yeah, you want to see that face. Come here. All of you guys, all four mats.
You're surrounded by mats.
Cocktails?
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
You guys can either go up to the dance. Then we'll ask for me and Robin. Okay. Yes, she does.
Oh my goodness. Yes. And this is why I'm going to keep it short and sweet. I have nothing but 100% support for these two and so much love. That's about all I'm going to be able to get out.
Tell me to move and that person shows up and needs to sit back. Tell me to move and this person comes back and needs to sit back. Make it good.
Put your hands together for Maggie. Best man Kevin Prefontaine.
First off, I want to thank Harold and Betty and John and Mary Evelyn. Thank you very much for putting on all of this, and for Matt for planning his own wedding, and for Beth being tolerant of Matt's plans. And Matt's been the boss of me for the whole day, and he has 8 more hours to this, and I'm going to be cool with it. But he's been very demanding, and we've been on point and on time. I think he's orchestrated a great wedding. notes here that I wrote that I may not need, but I want to make sure I don't miss anything. This is a great opportunity for me.
Pitchman.
Matt and I have known each other for a long time, which I'll get to in a minute. But I want to thank everybody for attending. I know a lot of you came from a long way, including some Seattle people.
London?
Sorry, Seattle. London. Where are you at, London? Across the pond. All right, back to Seattle. Good job.
Moscow. Nick? Moscow.
Okay. Before I even get to this, two families, and I know that most of you here, hopefully, come from one side or the other as far as your relationships. In the short time that I've got to spend with all the Bogert boys, which is a unique experience if you haven't got to do it, and as long as I've known the Tyner boys, I would say there isn't a more perfect union, not just with these two, but the whole joining of these two families is unbelievable. The fact that they met each other and found each other, now have 9 brothers between the two, is amazing. And their thoughts, their beliefs, the way they treat people, all of those things line up perfectly. So it is it's a great union, and it's going to be a great, great many years to come for all of us to see. So that's all before I get to the rest. Okay, so Matt and I go to lunch. Is that what you told me? We go to lunch one day, and he tells me I'm going to be his best man. Or asked me, told me. And I said, what about your brothers? I was the best man at my brother's wedding and thought it was a big deal that he picked me. And then my friend told me, that's default. Your brother is the best man. So Matt said, well, I love all my brothers the same, and I can't choose favorites, and I don't want to offend any of them. So he picked me. So by default, I'm his best man. But I feel like I'm the 5th brother in the Tyner family. And I want to apologize to Mr. and Mrs. Tyner for all of the times I called your house and asked if Tyner was there. I didn't know Matt's name was Matt until 3 years into our friendship because he was Tyner and I was pretty. And it just worked out, so I apologize for that. Eventually they got to know my voice and they just got him for me. Background with Matt and I, we've known each other for years. From the day we met, we were friends from the onset. We always competed without arguing. We just competed in everything. And always pushed each other, always challenged each other. And this goes back right at the beginning of high school, all the way through. And I'm going to cover with you tonight just a few things. Embarrassing moments, competitive moments, some marriage advice, and in the words of the Bogert boys, I'm going to try to keep this short, which means I'll keep it under 20 minutes. First off, one time, and I'll jump around a bit, but one time we're on spring break. I have my brother's fake ID, so it's my picture. I'm 6'2", blondish hair with green eyes, but it worked. And we were bringing out carts, I mean dollies, and half the guys here know because I was their guy that week. Dollies of beer, 3 days in a row. Sorry, Tyner parents. And we would drink these beers, and then the younger kids that wanted beer, we'd sell these Pabst or Natural Light for 35 bucks a case. So we were loaded on spring break. And I think we did it right till the 5th or 6th day. And they go, I know your ID's legit, but it's not you. And no more beer. Because the kids were lining up waiting outside. But we weren't really good at it. We were 15, 16. So we drink these beers all day one day, and then Tyner and I see a buoy. And I swear it had to be 2 miles out in the ocean off of Fort Myers. Is that about right? And we looked at it for a while, and we drank a few more hours, and I bet I could beat you to that buoy. So then, you can't beat me to the buoy. I can swim faster than you can swim. So everybody's partying, and all of a sudden, Kevin and Tyner run to the ocean and dive and take off and start swimming this buoy. about a quarter or half a mile in, we realize how stupid it is, but neither one wants to say a word. So we just keep looking. If you're not drowning, I'm not drowning. We just keep going. So hours later, we get to the buoy, and we're hugging this ball that's bouncing out there, and it's covered in green crap and skin. I mean, it was our only way to survive and breathe for a half hour until we could get enough energy to make the trek back in, which the waves pushed you, so it helped. But that kind of thing went on for years and years after that. That was kind of the beginning of the ridiculously stupid things we did. And it wasn't until 1 a.m. last night when I sat down to write this speech that it occurred to me of all the things we had done that I'd forgotten, and I smiled a lot, shed a few tears, and thought, wow, this is a true friend. More importantly, I thought, what kind of a friend stays up at 1 to 2 almost last night before the wedding and writes a speech for a guy? I mean, that's selfless. So I thought, that's a true friend. Which is my lead-in to what I have written. It's called True Friend. It's not a song like that, folks. I just needed a drink for the guy. Okay. What is a true friend? What constitutes a true friend? How do you know when somebody's your real friend and your true friend? I mean, think about for a minute of every day of your life, of the way the world is now, and every day you're out, you meet or you at least see somebody new that you've never met before. And you may go to dinner parties. Tonight, you're meeting people right now. You go, oh, we're going to hang out forever, we're best of friends. And I don't want to ruin it for you, but you won't follow up. You won't call them tomorrow. You're not going to come back to Castleton next weekend like you're planning right now. Keep planning, because it's all fun. But all this happens throughout your life. You meet so many good people. They're probably great people, but they don't break through to that true friend side. For whatever reason. We're busy, whatever comes up. So I was trying to qualify or quantify what a true friend is. And I started thinking, okay, let's think of me and Matt's relationship. And one thing I want to say about Matt, and if you were at the dinner last night, all of the things that the Bogert boys said and everybody else said about Matt are true. He's disciplined, he's hardworking, he's committed, he's caring, he's loyal, he's honest, blah, 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 blah. It's all true. He's a perfect human. But one thing that let me know who a true friend was in Matt is I meet a lot of people. I met a lot of people when I traveled, when I went off to school, when I went far away. No matter where I went, or what I was doing, or how busy I was, you know, I always had an excuse why I didn't keep up with people. Matt would not allow me to lose touch with him. He would not allow me to fade off for a year or two. He called me, he would find my address, he'd find where I was. And as a true friend, he'd drive 10.5 hours to come see me at school. So, there are very few people in life that you will find that will do those things, that will drive through 5 states, just to spend the weekend hanging out with you, meet your other friends, and then drive all the way back home. But everything that Matt does, at least in our relationship, lets you know the difference between an acquaintance, someone you call a casual friend, and a lifetime friend. And Matt is a true lifetime friend. There's much more.
Cut out a few pages.
I'll cut it down.